Yeah, he's away, family, personal reason. Might not be back for tomorrow's practice, but we're expecting to be on that plane when we head to Edmonton. So he's got some family stuff that he's just looking after and has to take care of. So we'll just give him his privacy and move forward.
Does any of that factor into, by my rural BC one-room school math, with who was there and who wasn't, there would still be one more announcement to be made to get to 23. Is that factored into Connor's absence?
It is, yeah, it is. Obviously, to be 3 goalies. So we just got to make 100% sure that we're in a position to get on that plane to go to Edmonton, that we're all good to go. So we'll hold on that spot. I know we have one extra decision to make, but we have until 4 o'clock today. We're kind of to be at our 23. So we're just discuss a little bit more, but the Heli thing kind of threw a little bit of a wrinkle into it, and we'll just handle it and move forward.
So would your expectation be that he's good to play on Wednesday?
Yep.
Just to be clear, Scott, did he have to go home to Michigan, or is it
It's private. He's got he let him talk about it if he wants to talk about it. It's just family stuff.
Not knowing what's going to be announced at 4 o'clock, so it might be a little bit of a putting the cart before the horse type moment, but with Elias, him still being around and Brad and Nikita going to the Moose, how did all that come together?
Yeah, it actually just because of the Heli situation more than anything. So it did help me to have 8 defensemen out there today. But at the same time, we kind of got this late curveball thrown at us, and so we have until 4 o'clock here to kind of, there's some things you can do if Heli isn't on that flight, but we're expecting him to be here tomorrow, and maybe not for practice, but he's going to get back. He'll be back here. So.
And on that point, Scott, there isn't a plan to carry 3 goalies beyond or for too long, I don't imagine here.
No, there isn't. I don't know what. Like I said, we have to let this play out, but there isn't a plan to do that. No.
No matter what you decide, how do you describe the camp that Elias Salomonsson has?
Like I said, all our young guys, the growth that I've seen from last year to this year, from the growth from the first day of camp, playing their first exhibition games, all that stuff, just they've all, they've been sponges and they've absorbed what we've been trying to preach and teach. And he's a good young defenseman that's got a high upside. He's he's a stay-at-home kind of defender. He has a little bite to him. He likes to play that physical side of things. For us, we talked a lot about his quickness, getting back and making that first pass, closing off alleys, closing quick when defending. And like I said, he picked it up, whether it was in practices going against our top guys or whether it was in the games themselves. He's a young guy now. He's really turning. I know he played at the higher level last year in Sweden, but now he's coming in North America, and it's a big step forward, and we're pretty excited about him as a prospect.
Conversations with Brad and Nikita, like knowing that they're knocking on the door and that season opening roster, like
both of them, both of them, again, just like Elias, they've had great camps and they've done some great things. The big thing is that, last year they both had breakout years, and they really had big years that we wanted them to step forward, and they did in the exhibition games, the things that we wanted them to do. But we can't also, we don't want this, I don't want this, they don't want it. We don't want these guys to, we're forcing them into a situation where they crash and burn, and then we got to start all over again. We're doing this obviously because we need these guys. They are part of our future, and this is part of some of the building blocks with Elias and some of these other guys that we're looking at. And we just feel at this time, doesn't mean it doesn't change. This league changes quick, whether that's through as we saw in training camp with our injuries to our D. This doesn't mean anything's written in stone where we're going. We told them both that go down and continue to be the best players. This could be a week, this could be a month. I'm not making any guarantees, but they obviously had opened eyes for a lot of guys from Penticton to playing in the exhibition games here. Like I said, from where they were last year to where they are today, we have 3 real good young players, plus the guys that obviously we've moved out earlier, that we're excited about, that we're filling some of the holes that maybe over the last couple of years have been depleted through trades, through guys moving on, different situations. So, those 2 guys were good about it, and they understand, and they just got to go be the best versions of themselves down with the Moose right now.
Though the lineup is similar this year, especially up front as it was compared to last year, can you describe the effect that push from those players has had on the rest of the roster?
Well, I think that any player recognizes that unless you've been in the league a while, anytime there's good young talent coming, they know that it forces our guys to be on their toes and sharp. The thing for me is that, we talk about roles and guys taking on responsibility, young guys stepping up. we still have Dylan Sandberg jumping into the number 4 spot. We got Cole Perfetti that we're expecting a lot from. We've got Ville Heinola when he gets back here. Stan, who hasn't played obviously a whole lot in the last couple of years. They've got more like Barron. There's guys that I'm hoping and I'm expecting them to play bigger roles, also take on more responsibility, but also mature one more year. And it's all part of, whether you're trying to make a team as a first year out of junior, or whether you're trying to increase your ice time and your workload, being a 1-year pro or a 2-year pro, 3-year pro. Those are the holes that those guys, that they have to go out and make sure that they're at their very best, that they take advantage of these opportunities that are put in front of them.
On the ice, drill-wise today, it looked like some forecheck versus some breakouts under pressure. Was that about the forecheck? Was that about breaking the puck out under pressure?
No, it was a little bit reset because we got today and then tomorrow before we play Edmonton. Some of it was had a little bit to do with, there's a couple of players on the other team that we were kind of making sure that make sure we were working on some of the detail of, especially through the neutral zone. Yeah, we wanted to kind of, when we incorporate some of these drills, we want them to have kind of a game look to them. The breakouts, playing fast, that transition through the neutral zone. I talked about speed and doing it on a shift-to-shift basis. So we're playing at a high tempo all the time, and the defending part, whether that was that D-zone part where we were getting heavy and then having to go into our neutral zone forecheck, or it was even the 2-on-2, 1-on-1, 2-on-2. We call it table hockey game with the 2 nets in the corner. That's a battle. That's a compete. That's something that I wanted the whole level of practice to be there. And then it led into, if you maybe didn't catch on, it was actually a penalty kill practice for our penalty killers. So the emphasis was all on that today, kind of a little bit more of us without the puck, but there was some emphasis when we did have it and playing quick. Tomorrow we'll have more of an offensive side to it, power play, kind of go there and get ourselves ready for Wednesday.
Scott, just one quick one. You mentioned Ville and Logan. It's just been over 2 weeks now. Is in your eyes, nothing's changed on their timeline? Like a month was kind of the target?
Yeah, they're both walking better. I would say Stan's probably ahead of Ville, but we'll see. That doesn't, they both have to get re-examined here in a couple of weeks. But at the end of the day, they're both moving a little closer. The good thing, like I said earlier on, was it happened in training camp, so they have this little bit of a leeway up until obviously the season starts Wednesday. But it's given them some time to get better. But yeah, we're certainly not by the end of the month expecting anybody in. We'll see. Hopefully that maybe they do recover a little quicker. But at the end of the day, that's probably the timeline that we're at right now.
Scott, Anderson-Dolan has cleared waivers. I mean, Anderson-Dolan has cleared waivers. What does that mean for the organization in terms of the depth you've talked about building?
Yeah, well, we have these guys, and we haven't lost anybody, and it's a situation that we wanted to go out this summer in free agency. Obviously, we wanted to sign guys. It didn't work, but at the end of the day, we wanted to improve our depth. And like I said, of whether that's a young guy, whether that's a guy that's been in the league for a couple of years, or a veteran guy, some of the guys that were here, if it's Tony Otto and Axel and those kind of guys, we've got depth now, and so we feel pretty comfortable now that we can, if something does happen, that we have people that can replace.